What is transactional analysis? A trainer's guide to understanding human behavior. Now, if you've ever left a session thinking, why did that conversation feel off? Why did that learner shut down or challenge me for what felt like no reason? Then today's video is for you. Hi team, and welcome to Caring for Care Trainer TV. This week, we are considering transactional analysis within the scope of training. Now, as always, let me know your thoughts and experiences in the comments, as this really brings the videos to life. Now let's get started. We're talking about transactional analysis, a practical framework that helps you understand group dynamics, learner behavior, and your own reactions in the training room. This is part one of a two-part series. In this video, I'll introduce the core model of TA, and in part two, we'll look at the drama triangle, one of the most useful tools for managing challenging interaction. Now, if you enjoy learning about this framework, let me know in the comments and I know to add it to the playlist. What is transactional analysis? Transactional analysis, or TA, was developed by Eric Berne in 1950. At its core, TA helps us understand the transactions between people. Hence the name. It's based on the idea that we all operate from one of three ego states in any interaction: parent, adult, and child. Now, these aren't personality types. It's suggested they're states of mind that we move between in conversation. So let's break them down with examples. The ego states explain. 1. Parent. This is the voice of rules, judgment, or nurture. You've learned this from perceived grown-ups when you were a child. Parents, teachers, shopkeepers if that was somewhere you went regularly. 2 types. Critical parent. You should know this already. Nurturing parent. Let me help you with this. In the classroom, you slip into critical parent when you say, I don't know why I'm explaining this again. It's basic stuff. You're in nurturing parent when you say, it's okay if this is new. We'll go through it step by step. 2. Adult. This is the rational, grounded, present-focused state. You use adult when you ask questions to understand, respond calmly, stick to facts. In training, let's look at the guidance and see what the best practice is. I'm hearing different views. Let's clarify the policy. Adult is where, according to Berne, you're aiming to be most of the time as a trainer. 3. Child. This is the emotional, reactive, playful, or rebellious part of us. 3 types. Free child, creative, spontaneous. Adapted child, compliant or people-pleasing. Rebellious child, resistant, sarcastic, passive-aggressive. In the training room, a learner sighs loudly and mutters, this is a waste of time. That's rebellious child. Or they might freeze when asked a question. Adapted child, saying, I don't want to get it wrong. Transactions. How these play out. A transaction happens every time 2 people interact. Sometimes they're smooth. Trainer in adult says, what's your understanding of the policy? Learner in adult replies, I think it means we document it within 24 hours. This is clear, balanced with no drama. But if the trainer speaks from critical parent and the learner responds from rebellious child, things go sideways. Trainer, you should know this by now. Learner, well, maybe if we had time in the job, we would. That's a cross transaction, and it's where conflict starts. Why this matters for trainers? When you understand TA, you can de-escalate tension, bring people back into adult, avoid taking things personally, role model calm, respectful behavior, and avoid getting caught up in drama. Example, if a learner gets defensive, instead of rising to meet it, stay in adult. Let's pause a moment. I want to make sure we're all clear on what's expected and that we're all on the same page. This doesn't just sound professional, it shifts the tone of the room. With ego states, I want to clarify that you don't need to be a parent to be in parent, and to be in child does not need to mean that you're immature. There are no good or bad, but the ideal is that we're conscious of our transactions rather than working on autopilot and just reactive. So next time you're in a tricky moment, ask yourself, which ego state am I in right now? What state is the other person in? What would adult sound like here? Staying in adult won't fix everything, but it will help you lead the session with confidence and compassion. Now, if you want, in a different video, we can review complementary and cross transaction. As I said, being an adult won't fix everything, especially if the other person is wanting or expecting you to respond from parent or child. Now, this video was just a short introduction of transactional analysis. And for your next training session, see if you can observe the switches. Sometimes it's easier to spot them in others first before we can notice them in ourselves. As always, we hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have any topics that you'd like us to explore or supportive comments to help other trainers, please drop them down in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.